So this deal looks really good until you dissect it more. This one will actually cost the seller money if they agree to it. In this video, I'm going to break down the deal that came across my desk from an agent that is trying to understand a little bit more about creative financing. And I'm so glad that she brought it to me because, wow, the more I looked at it, you'll see. So let's look at the offer that they got from another investor for this property. It is a lease option. Here's the breakdown, just a snippet of what the other investor sent her way. It looks good, right? But let's break it down a little bit further. So when I actually looked at this a little further, lease option, if you don't know what that is, that basically means that you're going to rent the property for X amount of time and have the option to buy the home. So you can either execute it, you could not. There's not really anything holding you to it. Their lease option is for 3 years. So for 3 years, they want to rent this home out. They're offering to come to the table with a $4,000 security deposit, rent this property out for $2,450 per month, which all sounds good here so far. Option can be executed anytime before the end of the term. That's pretty standard. And they have 90-day period to close. So if they decide to execute, they have 90 days to come up with their funding or figure out what they're going to do. So they have up until December 31st of 2026 to do this. So let's go down to the option. So let's talk about them actually purchasing this house. So should they decide to buy the house, they're going to be buying the house subject to, which is a great way to purchase a home. The way they structured it here, it's going to be subject to the mortgage balance. So in 3 years, so I'm going to run down this number really quick. So I know this home has about $239 left on it right now, and they're paying $1,829 a month with $20 for HOA fee. So how did I find out what the I estimated what the balance will be? Going through an amortization schedule, I like using bank rate. And let me clear this out a little bit. So if we go to bank rate, and sometimes I gotta find this because they move it around on me. So we go to the amortization or mortgage calculator, apologize, mortgage calculator, and we'll plug in the numbers right here. So I know they owe $239 on this property. I don't need to worry about a down payment because the loan is already in place. I know they're paying 5.75% today. I'm not going to worry about this property tax. We're just going to look at the amortization breakdown because we're just looking at the principal and interest getting paid down. If you go into this next screen and we're going to pretend 3 years from now, what is it they're going to owe? We're going to come up with this number, $229,544. And that's where I got this number right here that I plugged in. So this is what they're going to buy the home at in that 3-year mark. They're not increasing anything. They're not doing anything. They're just whatever is left on the property, that's what they're going to buy it for. So now if you look a little closer, it sounds like they're going to come to the table with $27,000, right? That's not too bad, right? But let's dissect it a little bit more. Let's look at the verbiage. Leasee will purchase from lessor subject to the existing first lien. Okay, subject to, got it. Leasee will pay cash to the seller, $27,000 at closing. This is the key piece. Less $625 for every month that they paid. Let's pretend they went that whole 3 years paying. So what they're saying is $625 for the 36 months that they paid. I came up with $22,500. So they're going to subtract that from this purchase price, from this down payment, I apologize. And then they also mention they're going to subtract that security deposit that they paid initially, that $4,000. If you do the numbers here, they're only going to close in 3 years with $625 to the homeowner. That's laughable. On top of that, it sounds like, if you read this first glance, lessor has agreement with listing agent to pay $7,125 from his proceeds. It sounds like, who's paying here? The homeowner is paying. So he has the agreement with the listing agent and from his proceeds. So this homeowner would actually have to cut a check because there's no way that he has enough proceeds here to pay that commission. So he would owe the agent money. I don't think this is the deal. This is terrible. This is very much in the buyer's favor. It's not a win-win. So I just wanted to break that down. It sounded good on a quick overglance, but the more you look at it, the more you look at the verbiage, this isn't a good deal for the homeowner.